Doc Hudson, known as the Fabulous Hudson Hornet. He wasn't just a doctor, he was a racer, the greatest racer from the 1950s, the early days of the Piston Cup, winning 3 Piston Cups in a row. This dude was an absolute legend of the sport. Not only he was a racer, he was also my mentor. Whoa, holy crap. So what else? So, um, Mr. McQueen. Yes, Connor. What else? What makes Doc Hudson a legend? Well, it's a long story.
World's groups of heroes. They're faster than us, stronger, smarter. The next generation of the human race is being a superhero.
He began his racing career in 1951 at Watkins Glen Raceway. Back then, NASCAR and the Piston Cup were their own separate series. He got his first hand on dirt, and he immediately became dominant. It caught the eye of Smokey, and they both helped each other win races. Smokey was the crew chief, and Doc was his racer.
So he won Rookie in 1951.
Well, actually, no. There was no Rookie of the Year for the Piston Cup at NASCAR until 1954.
What happened is he won 13 races en route for his first Piston Cup.
13? That's impressive!
Yeah, but it didn't stop there. In 1952, he doubled his win count to 27 wins en route to his second straight Piston Cup. He also did one of the most famous tricks of all time. Coming to the final lap of the Thomasville 400, he was almost pushed in the wall by his rival Leroy Hemming, and as the rest say, it's history.
So, before Cruz did that move, Doc did it first?
Yeah, we couldn't believe what we saw.
A lot of people talk about Doc's talent when it comes to racing after the 1953 season when he won 22 races en route to his third championship. In 1954, at the time, fans were ready for Doc's domination once again, but unfortunately, it all ended up in hell. The crash severely injured him and was forced to sit out for the remainder of the season. Doc stayed his time back at his home repairing himself since the other doctors can't fix him, so Doc decided to do it himself. A year later, in 1953, he's ready to return.
What happened?
He was replaced by another rookie. His sponsor quoted, "I'm sorry, kid, but you're history." With that, his career was over.
That's terrible.
It is, but it didn't stop there. Through the years, Doc decided to search the city to blend into, but so many people recognize him. To make sure this won't happen again, he removed all his decals and racing tires, but that didn't work either. Along the way, however, he gave medical advice on the cars that he met for one of the cars he met, and eventually found himself cruising to Route 66, where he met a young British car named Philip, who had broken down on his side of the road. After Doc fixed his engine, he realized that he could take it up a medical center. He attended medical school. He attended medical school and graduated in 1960, and soon became the resident doctor of Radiator Springs. This is where Sally comes in. She also had an engine failure and needed help, so me and Doc took her and others helped out. Doc felt like a legend of his own, helping out people, and he was free from his racing days until 2005. In 2005, I got lost and ended up at Radiator Springs, where I accidentally ripped up the road. I was taken to court, where Doc wanted to try to get rid of me as possible, reluctantly bows to his will of the other town's residents to sentence me to community service. I was still not happy about that. Doc gave me advice in telling me turn right to go left, which I simply just passed off as a nonsense because I thought he was going crazy. A day later, I discovered that he has 3 Piston Cups in his garage, so his secret was in jeopardy. He called the Piston Cup and told my location, and I was forced to leave, but Doc regretted his decision. In the final race, I struggled a bit, but Doc and the other townsfolk came up and supported me throughout the race.
I am not coming in behind you again, old man.
What are you doing, kid?
I think the king should finish his last race.
You just gave up the Piston Cup. You know that?
This grumpy old race car I know once told me something.
It's just an empty cup.
And just like that, the rest is history. Doc became my crew chief for the rest of the late 2000s. I was generally talking about my performance and my good racing skills, and I credit it all to Doc. He also contacted Smokey, who he hasn't talked to in 50 years. Doc sent letters and newspapers clipping of him and me between 2005 through 2009. He told Smokey that racing wasn't the best part of his life. Being my mentor was.
Hey kid, what are you up to?
I'm trying to think of a throwback for this upcoming weekend at Daytona. I decided to do a few NASCAR Cup Series starts, and I don't know what throwback paint scheme to throw back to. Like I want to see if I could do a little bit of a throwback to one of the racers who won the Daytona 500. So I was thinking either Jeff Gordon, Dale Jr., who else? Richard Petty. That would be cool. I'm not even sure.
You know what, Lightning? How about you throw it back to Dale Earnhardt?
Dale Earnhardt? You mean the 7-time Cup Series champion?
Yep, the one and only.
You know what? You're right. Maybe I should throw it back to him this weekend. Together, we won Piston Cups from 2006 through 2009. But 2009 was when tragedy struck.
Checker flag in the air. Mark Martin wins the California Champions 400 with the collection of 200 points. But it's not enough. Lightning McQueen will win his 4th straight Piston Cup title. Hey, buddy, you ready to go back home?
Ready as always, Mac.
I definitely need a long break. You said it, buddy. Come on, let's get to the trailer.
Alright, right with you. Hey, Lightning. Huh? Hang on, Mac. Hey, Kevin. What's up, man? What's with the long face? Lightning. It's Doc. Doc, I came here as soon as you can. What happened? McQueen. Wait. Don't tell me. You got a lot of stuff, kid. Doc, please. I'm gonna miss you, Lightning. No. No. No, Doc, no! He passed away from lung cancer. He kept his secret since 2000, and he never told anyone about it. To honor his memory, the Piston Cup Series trophy was renamed to the Hudson Hornet Piston Cup, and the Racing Museum now contains an ofrenda related to Doc, including old newspapers and Doc's trophies. Even though he left the world, his legacy lives on. As young 15-year-old Chase Elliott sported the Fabulous Hudson Hornet colors at Richmond in the Freshman Racing Series, now known as the NASCAR Life Series. Elliott won in his paint job in Richmond and Bristol. I won 3 more Piston Cups and became a 7-time Piston Cup champion. Cruz came by, and from 2007 through 2020, I became her mentor, and she won the Piston Cup in 2017, sporting the 51. And Chase Elliott won the Piston Cup in 2019, 2022, and 2024. And that is why he is the Fabulous Hudson Hornet. From racer to a doctor and then to a mentor, he will always be remembered as one of the all-time greats when it comes to the Piston Cup. Doug inspires all of us to become where we are today. Without him, then Radio Springs and McQueen wouldn't probably become a 7-time champion. That is true, buddy. Without him, then the Piston Cup will be completely different than what it is now. So, at the memory of the Fabulous Hudson Hornet, we will be building a statue near the entrance of the Los Angeles International Speedway to honor his memory. He will always be remembered as a champion of the sport.